Welcome to the Bible Show at evolutionpop.com. I'm your host, Jeff Hudson, and here is another edition of the Bible Show at the Hudson household. That's right, the COVID-19 coronavirus is still out there, so everyone's staying in. Don't get me wrong, though, I do go to work every day, but they got called off today. Got called off today. I went up there. They were like, "Oh, we're closed today. I'll find out what's going on tomorrow, maybe." Okay, but I feel fine. I'm good. Family here is all good, so no worries. This is the Bible Show where we actually read the scripture directly from the Bible. It's not what pastor said. It's not what you heard. It's not what you think you know. None of that stuff. Some theory off the internet. No. What does the Bible actually say? That's what we read. Today's lesson, we got a lot of stuff to read. I'm going to try to get it I'm going to try and get it all in an hour. So forgive me if I go a little bit too fast. But we're going to try to read it all in an hour. A lot of stuff. Today's lesson, the 7 vials of wrath. The 7 vials of wrath. Now, what is this about? If you ever read the book of Revelation, you know that there's 7 trumpets that are blown. There's also 7 vials that are poured out upon the earth, full of wrath, the wrath of God. And we're going to go through each one of these, and we're going to identify some things that these wraths are that has occurred on the earth to some degree. Not 100% like I think this wrath is going to be when it actually comes out. But these are some things that you can look at and say, that's happened. It's kind of like that. Is this going to be similar to this? Don't know until it actually gets here, but why don't we get into it? Revelation chapter 15. The book of Revelation chapter 15. We're going to pick it up at verse 1, and then we're going to skip down to verse 5. So, Revelation 15, verse 1. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues. That's another reason I did this lesson, because we are in the midst of a plague, whether it be a COVID-19 coronavirus plague, or whether it be like some 5G radiation poisoning through the networks plague. It's a plague. And God's hand is in this because he's allowing it to happen, or created it himself. Either man created it and God's allowing it to happen, or God created it and is punishing man. But stuff is shut down, that's for sure, right? And people are getting sick and dying. So there is a plague and a pestilence. Let's start all over. 15 and 1. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues. For in them is filled up the wrath of God. In them is filled up the wrath of God. Let's get down to verse 5. We're going to read 5 through 8. Verse 5. And after that I looked, and behold, the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven was opened. And the 7 angels came out of the temple, having the 7 plagues, clothed in pure and white linen, and having their breasts girded with golden girdles. And one of the four beasts gave unto the 7 angels 7 golden vials, 7 golden vials, full of the wrath of God. 7 golden vials full of the wrath of God, who liveth forever and ever. Verse 8. And the temple was filled with smoke from the glory of God and from his power, and no man was able to enter into the temple till the 7 plagues of the 7 angels were fulfilled. Well, no flesh and blood gets into God's kingdom at all. No flesh and blood gets to the kingdom of heaven at all. During Jesus Christ's kingdom, though, there will be mortal beings on this earth. That's another lesson. Let's keep going. Let's go to Revelation chapter 16. And we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Revelation 16, verse 1. And let's find out what these plagues are, these vials are. Revelation 16, verse 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, Go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of God upon the earth. So this wrath of God gets poured out on the earth by these angels in these vials. Verse 2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image. Now, the mark of the beast is, the 666. It's like the sign of man. The people that have that mark and take that mark are the ones that this sore, noisome, and grievous sore occurs on. Not the righteous people of God, just these. It reminds me of, if you go back to Exodus and Moses, the children of Israel that were in the land of Goshen. I think the first 3 plagues might have had something to do with them, but after that, none of the plagues stayed on Goshen. They were all on the land of Egypt. Let's go to verse 3. The second angel. And the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as the blood of a dead man, and every living soul died in the sea. And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of water, and they became blood. Verse 5. Well, let's skip down to verse 8. Let's just get right to the plagues. Verse 8. And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. And we're going to read 8 through 12. And men were scorched with a great heat, and blasphemed the name of God, which had power over these plagues. And they repented not to give him glory. So man is not repenting to give God glory for anything, are they? When has man repented to give God glory for anything? You might see it on like the football field. Like after somebody scores a touchdown, I want to give praise to God. Okay, that's good. Give God glory for everything that you accomplish. And everything that he chastises you for that makes you rethink yourself and get yourself back in line. Verse 9 again, and men were scorched with great heat, and blasphemed the name of God, which hath power over these plagues. And they repented not to give him glory. And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, and his kingdom was full of darkness, and they gnawed their tongues for pain. Now the beast is one of the people that's going to, it's going to be like you got the beast and you got the false prophet. Those are the abomination of desolation. Those are the two that are going to be leading this world into the destruction of this world. Let's put it like that. You got the false prophet who's going to give a false religion. If you read about the great whore in Revelation, it's talking about this false prophet. And you got the beast, who was like the military guy or the president guy, leader, that's going to be doing the bidding of the false prophet. They're working in tandem together. There's two. These two are going to be the first 2 people thrown alive into the lake of fire. Before any angels get there, before Satan gets there, these 2 are going to get there. That shows you how bad they are. And they're going to be there for at least for the first 1,000 years during Jesus' reign. They're going to be there 1,000 years before anybody else, before any angel or anything else gets there. These 2 are going to be there. The beast, which is a man, and the false prophet, which is another man. Into the lake of fire, burning with fire and brimstone for 1,000 years, and then after the judgment, everybody else gets thrown in. Check yourself. Verse 11. And blasphemed the God of heaven because of their pains and their sores, and repented not of their deeds. They still haven't repented. Verse 12. And the 6th angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, and that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. People are going to take this mark. They think they're going to be living large. They're going to be people that don't take it. They're going to be called dissidents. And I got some minds. I got some theories about that. It's just my theory. It's not the word. But this is going to how that thing's how this thing going to come across, where people are going to be accepting the mark because of all the thing that's going on right now. Think of it right now. This coronavirus is out here, right? COVID-19. What if there was something that he said, okay, you take this, and then you can walk around for free and go out and play like nothing happened because you're cured from this COVID-19. What if there was something like that? You take this mark, and that shows that you accomplished this, and you don't have to worry about anything else. During this coronavirus thing right now, what if there was something like that did that? Would people take it? Of course they would. What if it was 666? I'm gonna put 666 on your forehead. Everybody can see it, so they know right off the bat. Oh, you got the mark. Okay, you're cool. Think about it. What are they setting the mindset up for? Is this like pushing us toward that endeavor? Something to think about. Verse 12, and the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. Let's skip down to verse 17. Verse 17. And we're going to keep going with these vials. And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, It is done. We're going to read 17 through 21, 18. And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake and so great. And the great city was divided into three parts, and the cities of the nations fell, and great Babylon came in remembrance before God, to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. Now he just poured out 7 vials of wrath. Now this great city of Babylon is going to get the wine of the fierceness of God's wrath. How bad is that? Verse 20. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. Verse 21. And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent. And men blasphemed God. Instead of like giving God glory for and repenting, they blasphemed God because of the plague of the hail. Another plague. For the plague thereof was exceeding great. Now let's go back and read all these signs. And we're going to go through each one and try to make it quick because I only got an hour, right? What time do we start? Like 5 o'clock? So we're already 5. We got 55 minutes, right? Well, maybe we might go over a bit. Okay. Let's start all over. Revelation chapter 16 and go back to verse 2. Go back to verse 2. We're going to read each one of these plagues and then talk a little bit about each one as we go. Revelation 16 and 2. This is the first vial. The first vial is poured out. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. Now let's read a bit about this. Let's go to our Merriam-Webster dictionary and look up noisome. It sounds like it's noisy, right? No, that's not what noisomes mean. Noisome, Merriam-Webster dictionary, noisome. Noxious, harmful, offensive to the senses and especially the sense of smell. Highly obnoxious or objectionable. Synonyms for noisome is abhorrent, abominable, appalling, awful, disgusting, distasteful, dreadful, evil, foul, fulsome, gross, hideous, horrendous, horrible, horrid, loathsome, nasty, nauseating, nauseous, noxious, obnoxious, obscene, odious, offensive, rancid, repellent, repugnant, repulsive, revolting, scandalous, shocking, sickening, and ugly. That's what noisome means. It's not just some loud noise. It's all those bad things. Also looked up grievous. What does grievous mean? Merriam-Webster dictionary, grievous. Causing or characterized by severe pain, suffering, or sorrow. Oppressive, onerous, serious, and grave. Those are the definitions of grievous. This doesn't sound like anything good, it's like this is like bad stuff, right? That's the first wrath. Now he said this is gonna be like a sore. So you're gonna get a sore on you, right? Let's go to Revelation 13. Revelation 13. And let's talk about look at this mark of the beast. There's some things that cause sores on you, like smallpox is something that causes a sore. There's like herpes that gives you a sore, right? You get a disease that causes a sore. There's other stuff like lesions and skin diseases that all give you like some kind of sore, some kind of disease. So how difficult is it for God to give men this plague? It's already happening. It's not hard at all. Revelation 13, we're going to read verses 11 through 18, and we're going to talk about this mark of the beast. Revelation 13, verse 11 through 18. Verse 11 says, And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. Now this is the second beast. This is the false prophet. Now, before this one is the first beast. If you go back and read the whole chapter of Revelation 13, it talks about the first beast and what power this person has, and it talks about the second beast, another beast. This is the false prophet one. The beast that's of the president military guy, the beast that's the false prophet with the false religion. This is the one we're talking about here. Verse 11, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb. Innocent, right? Two horns like a lamb. And he spake as a dragon. Now, who's a dragon? Satan's a dragon. So he's dressed up like a lamb, all cuddly and nice, truthful, appearing truthful, but he speaks as a dragon. So that means he's going to blaspheme God. He's going to tell lies. But it's going to be like, you're going to believe it's true when it's not. Subtle. Verse 12. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him. Like I said before, there's a first beast that comes out, which is the man that's the military president leader guy. Then there's the false prophet, which is the religious guy. Verse 12. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell thereon to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of these miracles. So he's going to come here, he's going to show up and do miracles like having fire come down from heaven, going to make an image come to life. People are going to look at this guy like, this got to be God. But it's not. He's deceiving you. This is not God. When Jesus Christ returns, you're going to be able to look up in the sky and see him returning. Not this guy that just comes out of the blue somewhere. No, it's going to come from the sky. That's what you're going to see. The sky's going to roll back like a scroll. You're going to see the sign of the Son of Man coming from heaven. Not some guy that shows up as man on earth that's doing miracles. You got magicians that do crazy stuff nowadays, right? No different. Don't be deceived. 14. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do on the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. Where are we? We gotta keep going through 18. Verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. So he makes an image come to life. That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So he's going to make this image come to life, like a statue come to life. And if you don't worship this statue, you should be killed. Think of that. How many people are out there praying to statues now? What if one came to life? And people say, I'm not worshiping that. That's got to be evil. If you don't worship that image, we're going to put you to death. You're a blasphemer against God. They've been deceived. 16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So, COVID-19, you get your vaccine shot, they give you a mark in your hand, you go to the store, you say, hey, I got the mark. They're like, all right, you can buy some food. You say, hey, I got no mark. No, you got to get out. Get your vaccine shot, get your mark, and then we'll know you're for real. Just think about it. Is that the road we're going down right now? 17. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, which is the 666. That's a whole nother lesson talking about the 666. Let's keep going with these plagues and these vials of the wrath of God. Just giving you something to think about here. What road are we down? Is this Bible coming true? You tell me. Is it coming true? Revelation chapter 16, verse 3. Back to Revelation 16, verse 3. We're going to read 3 and 4, which is the second and the third vials being poured out. Revelation 16, verse 3 and verse 4. And the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as the blood of a dead man, and every living soul died in the sea. Every living soul died in the sea. That means like all the fish, all the whales, all the dolphins, all the living souls in the sea. Crustacean. In the sea, dead. Verse 4. And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of waters, and they became blood. So is everything dying? The rivers and the waters too? No more fish to eat. Everything dies. Well, it doesn't mean people are going to eat it. They're probably going to like scoop them up, chop them up, and like, here you go. Like nothing happened, right? I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm just saying. Now let's go to some, let's compare that to what's going on today. Some stuff that happened in history. All right, let's go to ocean.si.edu. This is like the Smithsonian Institute. And I looked up the Gulf oil spill. Remember the BP had that big oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico? Well, I looked that up. This is ocean.si.edu. All right, Gulf oil spill. The Gulf oil spill is recognized as the worst oil spill in U.S. history. Within days of the April 2010 explosion and sinking of the Deepwater Horizon oil rig in the Gulf of Mexico that killed 11 people, underwater cameras revealed the BP pipe was leaking oil and gas on the ocean floor about 42 miles off the coast of Louisiana. So this Deepwater Horizon is like an oil rig, blew up, sank, 11 people died, oil spill right there in the Gulf of Mexico. BP, British Petroleum, was the owner of that rig. They were doing the drilling, the oil drilling. Keep going. By the time the well was capped on July 15, 2010, 87 days later, an estimated 3.19 million barrels of oil had leaked into the Gulf. Ecosystem effects and effects on wildlife. Now here's what happened with the wildlife after that oil spill. Hold on a second. Okay. And I'm your host, Jeff Hudson, and
I'm your co-host, Ramonda D.
Okay. Ecosystem effects on the wildlife. What were some of the effects on the wildlife after this oil spill? Okay.
Well, let's see. So, there were some immediate impacts to the animals of the Gulf of Mexico that could be seen with the naked eye. Pelicans, yeah. Mm-hmm. Black with oil. Fish was belly up in brown sludge.
So the fish were like floating on their bellies, full of floating around in brown sludge.
Yeah.
Right.
Smothered turtles washed up on beaches. Mm-hmm. But not much time has passed since the spill, and it would take many more years of monitoring and research to understand what happened. Yep. Yeah. So much for the shrimps and lobster.
Yeah, so just right there.
at that time.
That's just from the oil spill. So what's God going to do? That happened in the Gulf of Mexico from an oil spill. All that, just like that. So what's God going to do?
God going to send wormwood, ain't he?
Here's another one. This is oceanservices.noaa.gov. Oceanservice.n like Nancy, OAA.gov. All right.
Yeah.
This is about...
What is it? Red tide.
Red tide. Have you ever heard about this red tide?
I have, but I didn't know what it was. But I've heard of that name, yeah.
Because it says like the seas and the rivers are going to become like blood, right?
Yeah.
Red tide. Let's hear it.
Mm-hmm. A red tide is a common term used for a harmful algal bloom. ALGAL bloom. Excuse me. Harmful algal blooms or HABs occur when colonies of algae, simple plants that live in the sea and freshwater, grow out of control while producing toxic or harmful effects on people, fish, shellfish, marine mammals, and birds.
The human illnesses caused by HABs, though rare, can be debilitating or even fatal. While many people call these blooms red tides, scientists prefer the term harmful algal bloom. One of the best known HABs in the nation occurs nearly every summer along Florida's Gulf Coast. This bloom, like many HABs, is caused by a microscopic algae that produce toxins that kill fish and make shellfish dangerous to eat. The toxins may also make the surrounding air difficult to breathe. As the name suggests, the bloom of algae often turns the water red, like blood. So now that's just like stuff that's naturally occurring on the earth. What's God going to do? How much more damage or harm of the wrath of God going to pour on this earth? It's an example of stuff that's already happening. Let's go to the fifth vial. I'm sorry, the fourth vial. Revelation 16 and verses 8 and 9. Revelation 16 verses 8 and 9. And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. And men were scorched with great heat and blasphemed the name of God. They still blaspheming God, which had power over these plagues. Now God's got power over these plagues. And instead of man saying, I'm sorry, Lord, and repenting, they're like, God, stop this heat. Wrong. You got it backward. And men were scorched with great heat and blasphemed the name of God, which had power over these plagues. And they repented not to give him glory. Now, I looked up, there's a website, c2es.org. C like Charles, the number 2, E like Epsilon, S like Sam.org. And I looked up about the earth getting warmer. This is a blog from March 10th, 2017. It was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
A few years ago, 3 years ago. Right.
17, 18, 19, 3 years ago. Yeah, exactly 3 years ago. Well, it says, it's certain the earth is getting warmer. And human activity is largely to blame, of course.
Of course.
The earth is heating up. Scientists have measured global temperatures for over 100 years and see that the earth is getting hotter. The trend can be best visualized by comparing each year's average temperature with the long-term average. In recent decades, the years have always been hotter.
The years have always been hotter. You know, it's like
last year was hot.
And the year before that, they said it's the hottest year on record. The year before that, it was the hottest year on record.
True.
So every year is breaking a new record.
Yeah, you're
right. What's up with that?
Yeah, because I remember last summer, we had a beautiful hot weather, and I loved it. No complaints.
You better enjoy it right now. It's going to get hotter.
Getting hot in here. We can really play Nelly.
To the point they're going to blaspheme God.
We can really play Nelly's song there. It really is getting hot in here.
Yeah, no kidding. It's getting hot out there.
Right. Human activity is largely responsible for this warming.
Now, you notice something right here. It's talking about this. The few examples that we had is like human activity has been involved. Human activity has been involved. It's causing this stuff. God is just like, all right, you love it. You like it. I love it. More, put more on you.
Wow. Over geologic time, the Earth's average temperature has changed as a result of the sun's output, the tilt and position of the Earth in its orbit, and the concentration of greenhouse gases. Scientists have developed a good understanding of the natural variations in these factors by examining different proxies for ancient temperatures. Observations tell us that these natural factors have not been changing over the last 100 years or so in a way that would explain the observed temperature increases.
So what they're talking about is like, so everything's been pretty normal as far as nature goes. What has man done to cause it to get hotter? Let's keep going.
In contrast, greenhouse gases have been changing in a way that can explain the observed temperature increases.
Greenhouse gases. Now, what has caused this increase in greenhouse gases? Let's keep going.
The preeminent record of modern atmospheric carbon dioxide, CO2, concentrations is based at the Scripps Institute of Oceanography.
Oceanography.
Oceanography. Thank you. Researchers there have at the Scripps. Researchers there have been sampling pristine air from a mountaintop in Hawaii every month since 1958, and analyzing its composition. I wonder what made them start doing it in 1958, though. What did they know was coming in the future?
Well, when did cars start?
No, it just made me. To me, I just get the notion that they knew something in the future was going to happen.
Well, they started burning this fuel, and it's going up in the air. So someone started monitoring. Who thought of the idea to start monitoring this?
Okay, because gas in 1958 wasn't. It was lead. It wasn't unleaded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So their observations show that both the concentration and isotopic composition of CO2 is changing and is consistent with man-made sources, including the carbon emissions from burning fossil fuels.
Burning fossil fuels. Have you noticed that there was like the price of oil is negative $37 a barrel?
Right now.
Negative
Yeah.
$37 a barrel.
Yeah.
So that means if you would have bought like a put or like a futures exchange. All right, this is different from the subject, but okay. There in the futures market, you can buy what's a put, which means you think it's going to go into a negative. If you would have bought a put on the oil, on how many barrels or whatever, you would have made a bunch of money because it's negative 37. That's never happened per barrel. I think it's going to go back up though.
So now it's a good time to buy. It's real cheap. It's nothing. It costs nothing.
I don't know how much more it's going to go up. The reason that it's so low is because all of the storage facilities for oil are all full.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So you can, since it's so low, the price is low, you can buy it like crazy.
Well, eventually people are still driving cars, so they're going to start using the storage that's there. So eventually they got to fill it back up.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest people that buy this oil and gas are like airlines. No one's flying nowhere.
Very true.
So that price was. No one wants that. Airlines don't need it. They're not flying anymore.
Yes, they are. I
know they're flying, but not like.
I heard some airplanes last night.
Okay, not like it was.
They're on different time schedules now. Right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you can just look up in the sky and see planes all over the place, right? This time you see the plane.
Also, you can tell that the Earth is warming just by if you look at Channel 11 or the Nature Channel when they talk about the icebergs.
Oh, the icebergs melting.
They are truly dropping.
The Arctic is melting. Polar bears can't find nothing to eat. They're stuck on
water, basically.
Just pieces of ice and stuff.
Right, little pieces of ice too. So yeah, wow.
All right, let's go to the next one. Revelation 16.
I think the polar bear is going to end up having to adapt to warmer weather and probably mingling with the black and brown bears. Got a feeling that's going to happen.
If the polar bears can make their way to dry land, they're going to wind up in like Norway or something, in Russia or something, eating up people's garbage like all the rest of the bears do, right?
Right. Right.
All right. Revelation 16, and we're going to read verses 10 and 11. This is the sixth vial. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. And this is about darkness and pain.
This is the fifth vial. Hey, I messed up somewhere.
Six vial.
Yeah, but this is the fifth. Revelation 10.
No, you just left. You did that already. You probably didn't change it yet.
Revelation 16.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you didn't change it because we started collaborating when.
Yeah, this should actually be fifth. I'm sorry, this should be fifth, not sixth.
You sure?
Yeah.
So where's six?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I think right there it is.
The fifth. Okay, this is the fifth vial. Okay. Revelation 16 and 10. We're going to read 10 and 11. The fifth vial. And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast. The seat of the beast. Now, we're talking about the beast, the two beasts, the false prophet and the man of war. So the fifth angel poured out his vial upon their seat, and his kingdom was full of darkness, and they gnawed their tongues for pain. 11. And blasphemed the God of heaven because of their pains and their sores, and repented not of their deeds. Now, it doesn't say in here that any of these go away. It doesn't say anything that none of this stuff goes away. So the first vial gets poured out, you get the sores. The second and third vial gets poured out, you get the seed, this bread, kitty, the fish. Right? The fourth vial gets poured out, and what was it? What was the fourth vial? The heat. The fifth vial gets poured out, now you got darkness. So all this stuff is like culminating, right?
Yeah.
Well, I went to Strong's Bible Dictionary and looked up darkness. The darkness that's described in this particular verse in the Bible, the Greek reference for it is G4655 for the definition of darkness. What does darkness say?
Oh, yeah.
Right here. Strong's Bible Dictionary.
Okay. It says to obscure or blind, literally or figuratively. Be full of darkness.
Be full of darkness. Now let's go back and read an example of when God put darkness on the earth before, on Egypt. Let's go to Exodus chapter 10. Exodus chapter 10. And we're going to pick it up at verse 21. We're just going to read 21 to 23. Not a lot. It's about the darkness. Exodus chapter 10, verse 21. And the Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt. Have you ever been in any place where it's been so dark that you could feel it?
Yeah, down south.
No kid, that's exactly what I was about to say.
And there's some people that know where they going in pitch black darkness. It's dark down there. Especially in the country on the road.
We used to caravan. We would caravan down to Mississippi. The family. It'd be like 3, 4, 5 cars. We all down from Chicago to Mississippi, right? Little town. In the middle of nowhere. Forget about it. You won't find it. But it's there. Pitch black darkness.
I know.
Man, you couldn't see your hand in front of your face like that.
Sure cannot. No. Especially if you're in the country.
Yeah, we're in the country. In the middle of nowhere. And it was dark. I was like, you couldn't see nobody. Anyway.
I was dating a guy in the 80s. I was in my senior year of high school, right? And so I was with his family, and they all went down to Georgia. My mom let me go. That's my first time going down to Georgia, down south, period, to Georgia. So we was with his cousins, and we were trying to find her. Let me hurry up. We were trying to find somewhere to go party while we were down there. So we were on the road. So his cousins, my date, he's driving. I'm in the front seat. His cousin, like right here, you know. And she looking like this, right, trying to see where to go. It's pitch black. only thing was lights was on the cars, the headlights, right, on our car. And so she was like, all right, slow it down, right here.
Like what?
What kind of, this a monster? You kidding me?
She know where she going.
How the heck you see this?
Yeah.
How did she see that?
She knows where she is. Like, I guess
you see how black this mouse is? That's how black it was. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what?
My grandma had like a house. And like, it's like a house here. There's another house for like a block, right? And there's like open field that way. Right. And like forest behind you.
Right.
Nothing. The next house is like down that way. You might hear some cows and some chickens down there. But man, when it got dark.
It got dark.
They put like a lamp over the house. They put like a light on top of the electric pole.
Oh, okay.
They put a light up there. If that thing wasn't there, you could not see.
No.
Nothing.
Now see, what would have met? Oh my God! Thank God we were safe, because when you think about it, we were the only one that we were the only one on that road, and we had headlights. Now, what if somebody was coming to us and didn't have their lights on?
You wouldn't. Well. You got that's two things. That headlights for you to see and for other people to see you.
Yeah.
People don't think about that.
Yeah.
You turn your lights on so people can see you.
I'm just mad. I couldn't believe that she saw where we needed to go. How there was no lights on the street to turn.
That's dark.
What the?
All right, verse 22.
Maybe that's a different type of species of people down south.
She just know where the place is. That's all. She just know where it is.
Jeff, it was pitch black.
If you was walking back home, you could figure out where you are.
It was pitch black.
You could. All right.
I'm gonna be like the slaves, follow the North Star.
Okay, verse 22.
Oh, man.
And Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. Now, this is the first time they put a time in there. It's 3 days. 23. They saw not one another. For 3 days, you couldn't even see nobody.
Mm.
Neither rose any from his place for 3 days. Like wherever you at, it got dark. It's like they was scared to move. Didn't know where they couldn't see nothing.
That's amazing. Yeah. You can't see in front of you, man.
But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings.
Woo-hoo, look at Lord, look at God, look at Jesus.
God knows how to protect the righteous.
In the land of Goshen.
Land of Goshen.
Goshen.
All right, let's read some more stuff about. Now, these are some other things about darkness. I went to this website. I looked up darkest places on Earth, and stuff came up like
Earth.
Darkest places on Earth.
It's dark here.
I know.
I'm talking about seeing.
Yeah, I know. But I know. Okay, stuff like that came up, like dark, like
Washington D.C.
Like evil dark came up, and stargaze and the light pollution stuff came up. So I went to the site Providerreport.com, and I looked up which spot on Earth gets the least sunlight. Now, these are like places. This is really talking about where the summer or the sun is like. The summers are really short, so it's dark most of the time. There's they got a bunch of places listed. I just wrote some of them down. I might even want to read them.
Yeah, I only knew about 2, actually.
Well, of course, you got like the North Pole and the South Pole.
3,
right?
okay. But you know what? Okay, let me read it. Right, so we got, it's 9 of them. So we got number 1, Jan Mayen, or Mayen, Norway.
So Norway, Norway is like part of like the Arctic Circle.
Yeah, it is.
So
number 2.
All right, go ahead.
Number 2, Kiruna, Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, Cologne, Germany.
Now you can go to the site and look this up,
Germany.
and it just tells you how much sunlight, how long the sunlight lasts per year.
Wow.
So I think this first one, Jan Mayen, Norway.
Yeah.
I think the sun is only like 800 some hours for the whole year.
Oh, I can't live that.
The rest is like dark.
A lot of criminals would love to live there, huh? People want to creep in the dark.
Well, they got their own. You can make your man-made light, but there's like no sunlight.
Mm-mm.
No, keep going.
We gotta hurry up. The Sabbath is coming quickly.
Yeah, you get like a sunrise and the sunset, but it's just mostly dark.
Yeah, I know the Sabbath is coming quickly. Don't turn your head. It's Sabbath day.
Yeah.
Nikolskoye, Russia.
Mm-hmm.
That's 3. What's that one? 2. That's number 4. Number 5, Torshavn Faroe Island, which is between Scotland and Iceland.
Torshavn Faroe Islands.
Yeah.
Right.
What's this? Number 6.
Yeah.
Number 6, Prince Rupert, British Columbia, Canada.
You ever think about Canada? Canada's part of
Is this North America?
The northern part of Canada is in the Arctic Circle.
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah.
Greenland, Iceland, they're way up there north.
It's all the way up there by Antarctica. Mm-hmm. Okay. Number 6? No, number 7. Juneau, Alaska. Yeah.
Juneau, Alaska. Yeah. Like 6 months of summer, 6 months of winter. It's dark.
Same thing with Arctic, North Pole, where Santa Claus is at.
Yeah, right. You eat by a polar bear.
Right. And number 9, Antarctic, the South Pole.
Yeah. I went to another site.
Yeah, very true.
Staying on this thing. This one's about the. I didn't pull any information from it, but just a site you might be interested in if you want to be stargazing. Darksky.org.
Sounds nice.
Darksky.org. These are like people that are like looking for the darkest places on Earth where they can go and look up and see the stars.
Mm-hmm.
To get away from the light pollution is basically what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So just check it out, darksky.org. Darkest places on Earth for stargazing. I got into the dark thing, so I just looked it up. I figured I would like to to you guys, so you might want to check it out. All right, let's go on to the 6th. It
says no light pollution.
Yeah, no light. Light pollution is like you go to the city and you look up. There's always light, right? Yeah. That's light pollution, so you can't see any stars. Mm-hmm. If you go down to Mississippi, I'm telling you, down Mississippi in the middle of nowhere, you look up, you can see everything. But
when I used to live in Westmont, Illinois, I could see a lot of stars, way more than the city, Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was
Chicago's
really nice.
You know, it's like
I used to always love to look up.
the number one place for this darksky.org site for gazing, the number one city, I think, was Flagstaff, Arizona.
Oh, I can believe it.
They have like something in place in Flagstaff to prevent light pollution.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they want it to be dark so people can look up at the stars.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right, Revelation chapter 16 and verse 12. Revelation 16, verse 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. Now, the river Euphrates is already dried up. Not just that river, but some other rivers as well. Went to fairobserver.com, and the Euphrates River dried up. Right, go ahead.
Yeah, rivers of dust. The future of water in the Middle East without international diplomacy. The Middle East is going to run out of water, and it won't be alone. By Khan Hallinan, August the 23rd, 2019.
Last year.
Wow, the great Tigris and Euphrates rivers come together in what is today Iraq. Like a Killmonger said, Iraq.
Iraq.
I trained in Iraq. And those rivers are drying up, partly because of overuse and wastage, and partly because climate change has pounded the region with punishing multi-year droughts.
So this is all like man-made stuff. God's gonna say, do you like it? I love it. You want to dry it up? Go right ahead. I'll help you. Let me dry it up for you.
According to satellites that monitor climate, the Tigris-Euphrates basin, embracing Turkey, Syria, Iraq, and western Iran, is losing water faster than any other area in the world, with the exception of northern Indiana. Look at God.
Northern
India. Yeah, I said Indiana. India.
So the
Look at God.
River is already drying up. And right here in the Bible said the Euphrates River is going to dry up. Now, is this Bible true?
The prophecy is, yeah.
It's the stuff that we've read so far. I've already given you examples of what's going on already, and it matches what this is actually saying already.
Yep.
Amen. Believe what you want to believe.
Amazing,
I'm trying
right?
to tell you. Let's go.
We are here.
Yeah.
We are here.
Revelation 16. Let's read the 7th vial. And we're going to go to verse 17. Revelation 16, verse 17.
And this is about the great hail.
Oh, yeah. There's some other stuff in here, too. The seventh angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, "It is done." And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake and so great. So think about all the earthquakes that's happened already, like San Francisco and Oakland, just earthquakes around the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth. So how big is this one?
That's going to be huge.
Verse 19.
I wonder where is it going to be, though?
The whole earth.
Oh, the whole earth is going to shake.
And the great city was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell. And great Babylon came in remembrance before God to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. The cup of the wine of the fierceness of God's wrath. They had to put some adjectives in front of that one. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found.
They said every island, so every island like floated apart.
Maybe
fled away. They had to.
Maybe they all crumbled. I don't know. You still want to go to island?
I don't know anymore.
Verse 21. There's no way to place to hide. 21.
But he might save us.
That's true.
Yeah.
And we should be in the, after this, when this starts happening, we should be in the wilderness anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
21. And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent. And men blasphemed God because of the plague of the hail, for the plague thereof was exceeding great. They're still blaspheming God for the plague of the hail. Now, the only one I concentrate on here, we all know that there's earthquakes. Just think of the biggest earthquake that you've ever seen or thought about or heard before. It multiplied it times 100, I suppose, or even more than that. But I want to talk about the hail. Like so we know earthquakes happen. We know hail happens. I went to the site theweatherprediction.com. Theweatherprediction.com.
You did your homework. This stuff really good on this one.
And I was looking up hail.
Yeah.
Hail, not hail like you're going to hell. Like hail, like rain, hail, right?
Right.
Go ahead. Let me read the hail. Theweatherprediction.com.
The largest hailstone to fall was the Coffeyville, Kansas hailstone that fell in 1970. Oh, that's when my sister was born.
Now, this is 1970. How long? Were they keeping records of hail before that?
That was 50 years ago.
Yeah, I'm saying, was there hail bigger than this before? I'm thinking that there's hail bigger than this. They just talking about it now. 1970? Come on. I think there's hail bigger than this before that.
I have no idea, but the hailstone was 1.67 pounds and over 5.5 inches in diameter.
So think a ruler, 5.5 inches. Well, you know what? There's like a list here.
Yeah. Okay. In diameter. Diameter examples in inches. A pea, which is
25.25 inches.
0.25.
So that's like the size of a pea, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah. A dime is 0.75 inches.
Now this hailstone was 5.5 inches. So that's like almost half a foot.
So now I'm listing off examples and you'll see how big it really is, okay? Mm-hmm. So a quarter is one inch. A golf ball is 1.75 inches.
A golf ball.
Maybe a tennis ball, or what is 2.5 inches. A baseball, this is pretty big in itself, is 2.75 inches.
That is a big hailstone right there.
This is huge.
That's a hailstone. If that was a hailstone, man.
This is big, right?
Goodbye windshield.
Right. Your head. So, baseball, 2.75 inches. A grapefruit, 4 inches. And
anything over 4 inches is called just
a giant.
Now, this thing that fell in Coffeyville, Kansas was 5.5 inches bigger than a grapefruit. Bigger than a grapefruit.
That's like a basketball, maybe.
All right, so I looked up. So it said, there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent. So how big is a talent? How much does a talent weigh? Every stone about the weight of a talent.
This was as big as what?
I don't know how big that is. So I went to convertunits.com,
right.
And I looked up how big is a talent. 1 talent.
Yeah, how big is a talent?
1 talent equals 66.1387.
Actually, 14 pounds.
60. Okay, let's go just say 66 pounds.
Because of that 8 right there, so that's gonna make that 4.
Let's call it just 66. 1 talent, 66 pounds. Mm-hmm. 66 pounds. And it says, and there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent. Can you see a 66-pound boulder falling out the sky all over the place?
Nope.
We just saw 5.5. That was a grapefruit. Just hail the size of a grapefruit is huge. That's not a grapefruit.
But it's past a grapefruit.
Just imagine that. All right.
Oh,
what time is it? Oh, yeah.
That's the last scripture, though.
Okay. Yeah, we got one more. So, look, man, we just trying to tell you this thing is real. It's happening. It's coming on us right now. We're looking at this thing coming unfolding. Right now. It's unfolding.
What I always say, where are we?
The last days. On the end game?
In the end game.
You know, we're laughing here and stuff, but this thing is serious. I'm telling you. Look, we got this COVID-19.
Yeah.
That they're calling it. We don't know what it is. People dying. There are people that are dying just like that. How many people you know that just died out of the blue?
But it matches the scripture when the Lord said 1,000 will fall by your side, something like that.
I think that was talking about the wilderness, though, but maybe
I know, but it reminds me of it, though. It just reminds me of that scripture. 1,000 will fall by your wayside, but none shall come near you.
Near you, yeah.
And I say that because my cousin, I had just talked to her you know what? I did my show March the 12th, right? Was a Thursday. I think March the 12th was a Thursday. And she had, no, the 19th. And she, I was at the studio, IMS. I sent her, as I was getting ready to do my show, I sent it out. And she had got my show. And she was like, okay, Romanda, I see you. So, the next day after that, that girl was gone that morning, which was a Friday morning.
That's what, 2 days?
One day.
The next day.
The next day. I had just sent her my show, and she was thanking me. She's like, "Oh, look at you! I see you." Not thanking, but like praising me almost, or just liking it, because she's like, "I see you." Not praising me, but I'm just trying to think of the word. But she was like happy. Maybe she I
giving
just say
accolades, saying congratulations on your show.
Right. I see, because she's like, "Oh,
Very
okay,
cool,
I see you." Because you know what? I had never sent her my show to tune in. Mm-hmm. So I finally did. I said, okay, I'm going to send her my show to tune in right now because I'm live.
Okay.
And she's like, oh, I see you, roll. Go ahead, roll. And that was a Thursday, March the 19th. March the 20th, she was gone.
That's trippy.
Very trippy.
Last scripture.
Yeah.
We're going to go to Luke chapter 21. Luke 21, we're going to read verses 5 through 11. And then we're going to skip around. It's like, yeah.
And this is in regards to signs of the end.
Signs of the end. Luke
we are 21, here, you guys.
Verse 5 through 11.
We are here.
Down. Verse 5. And as some spake of the temple, how it was adorned with goodly stones and gifts, he said, he is Jesus, as for these things which ye behold, the days will come in the which there shall not be left one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. Every time I read this scripture, I think of that Wailing Wall. Like, what the heck are they walling if every stone is thrown down?
But they what wall are they
at? The angel missed one? Oops.
Why you at the wall anyway? So. That's a stone.
Verse 7.
The Lord said, don't worship bricks and stones and wood.
I don't think they're worshiping, but I don't know.
They are worshiping. They faithfully go to it.
Yeah. Verse 7. And they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be? And what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? And he said, he being Jesus, take heed that ye be not deceived. So this man of sin, the beast and the other beasts are going to come with miracles and wonders. They're going to say they're God. Don't believe it. Don't be deceived. Right. Don't take the mark. Don't give into it.
Because Jesus, he coming, but it ain't going to be that soon. No. Well, he coming right after all of this.
When Jesus comes, everyone's going to see him come. You look up in the sky, it's going to roll back like a scroll, and you will see it.
Right. He's coming through the sky, but he's not going to already be on the earth doing miracles.
Everyone will see him coming. So remember that. Verse 8, and he said, take heed that ye be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, they be coming in his name, saying, I am Christ, and the time draweth near. Go ye not therefore after them. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. So, we got this pestilence, there's been famine. All this stuff's been kind of going on.
Locusts in Africa,
mm-hmm.
and I think it went to India also. Yeah, locusts in Africa.
So all
swarms of locusts.
Been kind of going on already, but it doesn't seem like it's intensifying. It's getting worse. Is it intensifying? Let's get down to verse 25.
When you talk to some people, they're not paying attention.
I think it's just another thing. It's going to keep on going. No.
These are not normal days
to me.
No,
not normal days. Not to me. 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth distress of nations. Are we in distress right now?
Yeah.
With perplexity, everyone perplexed. The sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. That's when you're going to see him.
Yeah.
Not just somebody that pops up on earth and takes a seat in Jerusalem. No,
Right.
it's going to come out of the sky.
Right.
28. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Let's get down to verse 33 to 36. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass. Whose words? This is Jesus.
Yeah.
34. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life. And so that day come upon you unawares. So you're going through your life, you're just enjoying the moment, it'll pass, blase, blah, blah, Pay attention. 35.
But like the Lord said in another scripture also, that it would be like the days of Noah when people would be just carrying on, getting married.
Carrying on like nothing's happened.
And everything.
Look at the stuff that's going on. You got this COVID-19 out there. People are still out there jogging. And doing their regular stuff. Like it's like they know that this is out there, but they're like, yeah, okay, it'll go away. Yeah.
But look at the things that wasn't normal. I'm gonna like say yesterday, right? Mm-hmm. Meaning like in January, or how about December 2019 or 2019 period? Nobody was walking around in America with masks on.
Yeah.
Nobody wasn't 6 feet behind each other.
Yeah, it used to be like people have been wearing masks in China.
In China,
you would see that.
Well, of course.
They had like the air pollution there, so
right.
But then when people started wearing them here, it was slow to take hold, but everyone's wearing them now. Well, most people are wearing, not everyone. There are people still walking around without masks.
And it's like a world pandemic.
Worldwide pandemic.
Deaths all around us.
Verse 36.
One more thing then. And not only that, but some states they want to open up, but then they scared. We don't know too soon.
And then some states want
to. You want to put. I am gonna leave it alone.
Verse 35.
You know what I was about to say.
For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. Yeah. So there you have it. The 7 vials of wrath. This Bible is for real, man. They just made some comparisons. So I say take heed. Watch yourself. Get in this book, man. Learn what the scripture's talking about.
Yeah.
And
I would say also, when you come across someone that knows the true word, and they just telling you to examine the world right now, comparing to the world that we left in 2019, and you tell me, is that not a difference?
Of course,
there's a difference. This world, and here's another thing: it's not going back the same.
Yeah, I don't think it's going back the same.
Not now that this has happened. They're pushing, like Jeff said earlier. What are they pushing for? They are pushing for a vaccine that a lot of people is not gonna want to get. And I said in one of my shows that we're not gonna get it. What's gonna happen to us if we don't, get the vaccine? You're gonna put us out of a job. We're gonna be homeless. We ain't gonna be able to eat. Our kids ain't gonna be able to go to school, or death.
Yeah.
Which one is it? Well, we gonna die. We can't eat.
Somebody,
they feel that we'll probably be pushed into concentration camps or something like that.
I think we gotta get sent to
FEMA camps.
I think that's where it's gonna be like, all right, y'all don't want to take it, y'all go to this. Go to the word where you talk about. Go. All right, see you. Y'all go all hang out there.
Right. Yeah, you know what? You might have a point there. Well, can we leave? We don't want to be here.
There you go. Sure, we'll give you a ride.
you say, but you know what? Ooh, what made me think about that? Yes, it might do happen like that. We had a shadow of it. I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna remind y'all. It was a clip on Facebook that over in China they was kicking all the black Africans out, right? Okay. There was one African guy had his own airline. And he said, to all the Africans that's in China, come to my airline. I'm going to take you back to Africa free. That is a shadow to come. It is going to be people going to just,
all right, we'll get on this African plane and go back home.
Not just that, but it is going to be people that's just going to want to help us to get out of here and go.
The book speaks about the Ammon and Moab helping the Israelites. So.
Yeah. I mean, that to me, that one, I was like, oh my God, I caught it right away. And I'm like, there's the shadow. Mm-hmm. That's the foreshadow. Yes.
Now, how long is this thing going to take? Don't know. Yes, it's just like
it's going to take rapidly because the state of Illinois, there's a Democratic party. It's a lady. I forgot her name, but she's a Democrat.
Democrats.
And she said by 2022 she wants to enforce the state of Illinois she said I think the title is like religious people can no longer hide
use their religion beliefs.
Can no longer hide behind their religion to avoid vaccinations. And she wants to mandate this by 2022, I believe. So you want to take away our religious rights. And guess what? If, J.B. Pritzker already making changes now to the to the Illinois State Constitution. What makes you think the United States Constitution ain't coming next?
How can a governor just make changes to the Constitution?
Illinois State Constitution.
Yeah, he still can't just make changes on his own. There's got to be like I don't know. There's got to be
right. Exactly.
What is required for a state constitution to be amended?
Well, but you know what? It makes sense because Listen. Why I say that they want to make change. He wants to make change because look at the Democrat lady. Look at her. She wants to change the main constitution, which is our freedom of religion, right?
Yeah.
So she's saying we can't hide behind our religion no more to avoid getting a vaccination.
Hide behind?
That's how she stated it. That's how she stated it.
No one's hiding behind their religion. They're just like using their religion for this their belief.
Right, exactly.
Not for you to do harm to them.
Right, but I'm showing you the changes are to come. The new world order is coming. So if they can make changes to the Illinois, to the state's constitution, the governors, what makes you think that the United States Constitution is not about to be changed also?
Well, I think the U.S. Constitution is already being ignored anyways. They skipped the first article and go right to the second one. Keep your guns.
I'm just giving y'all.
Which might be a good thing nowadays, right?
I'm just giving you something to think about. It's coming. It's coming.
So freedom of speech is being ignored, but the freedom of carrying a gun is like they all tight on that one. California,
it's already 5. I think it was California and Virginia and a couple more states. They already have that in place. It's only 5 states. United States. Chicago, Illinois gonna be next.
What's the fourth amendment? I think the fourth one is right to privacy. That's been ignored. They can spy on you from your cell phone. You're spying on us right now, right? Anyway, let's wrap it up. It's been over an hour. Mm-hmm. See, fit it all in.
Yeah, woohoo! It's been 8 minutes over. Yay! That's not bad.
All right, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully next week we'll have another show. God willing.
Yeah.
Peace and grace to you and yours.
Say hi to people.
Oh, what's up?
Lindsay Bates and Debbie Dwyer.
What's up?
And Gerald Jones.
What's up, Gerald? All right, peace to everybody. We're out. And
wait.
What?
Pay attention to your surroundings, and most of all, please be safe.
Be safe. Peace out.
I was like, oh, it sounds so good. I got to come in here. Let me hurry up, he's sweet. I'm just about done with my hair, so now let me come. It is kind of juicy, though. I like that one. That's going to be a good one.
I told you.